back to Literally Nothing Matters, where we're going to be only positive today.
Welcome, where we are toxically positive because nothing matters.
Well, we're usually super negative, so it's going to be a positive pep talks only.
I love it. Yeah, normally we come on and we're like, so how are you doing? I'm tired.
The same exact thing every single week, but it's different this week. We have a married mom on the podcast today.
She is wed. I am fully wed.
Sandy's looking like her best mom self right now. She's beautiful. She's glowing. She's
Like,
just ready to be
come
transplanted in that
on.
suburbia life, you know?
Yeah, apparently. The moment you're married, then you're just ready for it. Multiple people have already asked, like, so when do you think you guys are gonna have kids? I'm like,
Really?
Christ, just let me live for a second.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy. I feel like you
People
shouldn't ask that
do. People
unless
do
you're your
have
best
quite some
friends, because
reason.
it's just like fun to be part of the process. Like sometimes
Yes.
I do think some people are like so touchy about things like that, and having
Oh my
gone
God, yeah.
through kind of like the gamut of pregnancy situations, like being pregnant, not being pregnant, miscarriage, not being able to get pregnant, like all of it. I feel like it's nice to like when people ask you certain questions and then you kind of talk
Yeah,
about where you're at and give them what you want. And then it's up to them to like read the room, you know?
I agree with that. And I feel like there are certain relationships that just kind of have that context behind it where like it's okay to ask those questions and obviously like respecting boundaries and being sensitive to situations, but like yeah, it's fun to be a part of it.
Yeah. Good. I'm happy
Like we're
that
just
you feel the
excited for each
same
other.
because
Yeah.
I ask you all the time. Well, I don't ask you all the time, but like
No,
it's
but
just
we talk about where
yeah.
we're at, what we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
How
Unless
are
I drop a
speaking of
bomb on you and just say I'm pregnant.
yeah, right? Maybe that's what will happen when it eventually does happen.
Oh my gosh.
This is my only child for now.
I know.
Speaking of babies, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm in second trimester, so I'm like living in that glowy era of
Yeah,
pregnancy. Because first trimester is kind of like weird where you're like, I don't really want to tell many people and like I hope everything's okay. A lot of people
like
feel like shit.
tired.
Yeah, you're tired. And then third trimester for me is like the worst of them all. You're just like huge and
Right.
uncomfortable. Second's like you're just chilling and you have
Yeah.
this little burst of energy. And so I've actually been shopping like a problem, like I need
We
to go back to work problem. But
need to start
I
selling our merch kind of
yeah, I
problem.
literally was like, I need to put this on the podcast to just put it out there that like
Yes.
I have like I'm so guilty about spending so much money lately. But it's all I'm not like buying frivolously. It's like I want to organize my house. Like Annie's entering a toddler stage, so I want to have
Yeah.
her toys just like decluttered. She has so many freaking toys and she doesn't play with them because she can't see them. So
Right.
I did like a big IKEA order and I have her toys organized. And
Love
I
that.
feel like I'm trying to get her prepped for, when the baby comes. So I got her a little table that's her size. So like she can sit at her table and eat her meals and she can get up and down. I set up like a little station with like wipes and little like washcloth things, and she's loving that. We got her a potty for Prime Day, and she's way too early for potty training, but she's also obsessed with potties. So I'm
Hey.
like, sure, go for it, whatever.
Yeah. 100%. If she's interested, why not just get that going?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Right now she's like sitting on it like 80 times a day. And she did try to poop the other day and she just went poop.
That's
It's so funny.
so cute.
But yeah, I feel good pregnancy wise, actually. Thanks for asking.
Good. Oh, I love that whole feeling of like being organized. Are you nesting? Is that what
Um,
they
I
say?
think, yeah, probably getting there. I feel like that usually happens later on, but
Yeah.
I just feel like I have so many things just because I'm like a high strung person anyways, that I want everything to be perfect. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm looking in every little corner of my house and trying to make it just accessible to our lifestyle right now. So perhaps,
I feel that. I
yeah,
feel that. What is the difference? This is becoming an interview about pregnancy. Um,
girl.
what is the difference being pregnant now as a mom rather than being pregnant without having to take care of another living
Oh
human being?
my God, literally everything. I feel like I'm ready for another baby. Like I feel so good about it. I feel
Oh,
like It's gonna be hard, of course, but like I feel like I know what I'm doing, like going
Mhm.
into it. But I feel like with the first pregnancy, it was about me more. Like I was going to acupuncture once a week. I was getting massages every other week. I was doing chiropractic work. I was like really regimented about the lifestyle that I was doing, and I was taking all these great supplements and eating really well.
Mm,
And I wasn't really focusing like on when she comes. And I feel like I was able to kind of just like live in the moment a little bit more. And now I'm like, okay, there's going to be a baby and what's going to happen then? And so I'm kind
yeah.
of like just living like for the big moment, the big reveal of when the baby's here,
Mm,
instead of like, oh, like I would love to just sit down and relax. Like that ship has sailed. I got that out of my system with number one.
mm,
Highly recommend, but that's just not happening this time
yeah.
around. So it's going to be interesting to see the difference in this baby compared to Annie, because Annie Banani is the best thing in the entire world. I wouldn't change one little thing about her, but she's a very like she needs a lot from me. She's very dependent on me and I love that. I've like made her that way. She's a snuggle bug.
Mhm.
But I feel like this next baby is just going to be like, all right, let's go with the flow here.
Yeah, like independent
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. Like Annie never liked anything of like the stroller or the car or the swing or anything. Like she just wanted to be held, and I could. And I feel
Yeah.
like this baby's gonna be like living in a stroller, and
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be chasing around a toddler.
Totally.
Um, so yeah, it's just completely different. But I mean, I'm being healthy. I'm like, not taking drugs and taking my prenatal. So
Not slugging wine and not taking drugs. What more could you ask?
what else do you want from me? Okay.
Mother of the year.
So yeah.
No, that's awesome. I feel like you have such a good like attitude and like head
Yeah.
on your shoulders about it all. It's so exciting.
For now, I'm living
I
in
mean,
it.
yeah, day by day.
Yeah, we'll see in third trimester. I'm like, I can't talk about it.
Help.
It is funny though how high my emotions are. Like Chad came home late the other day from work, and I was like pretty upset about it because it's just becoming a regular thing of his
Yeah,
hours are now just 2 a.m.
insane.
until 7 plus p.m. And I was like just upset about it because I feel like I had been voicing to him that I really need him home early. And I just like it was a hard day and he was having tantrums or whatever. And he came home and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And like usually I
Yeah.
can have hard conversations and like come at it and be kind of like just come at it from like the facts. And this he was like trying to talk through it and be like trying to come up with strategies. And I was like, just shut down. And he's like, what's going on here? And I was like, if I keep talking, I'm gonna get emotional. And I feel like this isn't a conversation where I can get emotional because I want to like be a problem solver instead of
Yeah.
just like being sad about it. And I just feel like that's been happening a lot lately of like I could cry and this is like that was like a big situation, but like the drop of a hat. I feel like
Yeah.
my emotions are running high, which is very unlike me. So that's been challenging, but hey, hold
You're
on,
like, that's
that'll give
new.
it to you. Yeah.
Well, as a big crier,
Mm,
I feel you. I see
yes.
you and I hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes.
You made it through your wedding though.
We made it. We
Yeah, you
made
did.
it through. And I only cried like a few times.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
look at me
know.
go.
We're gonna chat all about it though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we are. Do you want to do a rose and thorn today?
Let's do it.
You feeling it? What do you got? I just
I'm
talked a
feeling
lot.
it. Well, I feel like the obvious rose and thorn is that I had my wedding, which is my rose, and my thorn is that it's over. No,
I love it.
but I feel like my rose is that I feel like rejuvenated a little bit from it, which is the opposite of how I thought I was gonna feel. Like I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna be like major depression after.
Yeah. That's what
And I
happened to me after my wedding. I got like wedding blues, they call it, or whatever it is.
yeah. I mean, I definitely obviously
Evening.
like going back to work on Wednesday and stuff, I was like,
Yeah.
"What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Um, but I felt like the weekend was everything that I wanted and more.
Yeah.
Like I just felt so like so lucky and like so incredible about how everything went. Like obviously I was sad it was over, but I also just was like I couldn't have asked for anything better. So I feel very like solid in how everything went. So it made it a little bit easier to be like, and now real life again.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it was such a good reminder of like what is important in life and what I want to focus my energy on.
Ooh.
So I also felt a little bit better, like in a better headspace. And obviously, like after a few weeks, that stuff goes away because then you get stressed again with life and whatever. But I'm like trying to be more present and not sweat all the small stuff. And I wore, not to blow all you bitches out of the water because I'm just so put together and toxically positive. I wore makeup to work yesterday.
Ooh, honey.
What?
Honey, honey.
And it
Wow.
was actually offensive how many comments I got about it being like, "Oh my god, your skin is just you look glowing today." I'm like, "You
Feel like
bitches."
it's fucking bronzer. Okay.
Literally, it's like, "Oh, I wore a tinted BB cream today. Look out."
I
Uh,
love that. That's great.
and I like woke up early today on my day off and I went to the gym.
Good for
Who
you.
am I? I sat in the sauna. I
Wow.
got like sort of dressed. I'm in stretchies, but I'm in like a cute stretchy jumpsuit and a sweater.
I love that.
We're living.
I love
So
it.
that's that is what
That's
we
your
are
rose.
trying to stay within that mindset.
Do you have a thorn or are you just staying in the
Uh,
Polly pocket?
um one of my thorns would be that, so also I think part of this mindset is that I timed it out pretty perfectly so that way when I came back from the wedding I was basically fully done with personal training. So I stepped away from the team and now I'm just teaching classes and focusing on event stuff,
Mhm.
um, which is great. But the second I decided I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore, everyone and their mom wants to do personal training. Like,
Oh,
where have y'all been for the last 4 years?
so are you being guilted back into it?
Somewhat,
Okay.
but not
Like
really.
privately and not for your company, and then you can just
Yeah.
work
I
it,
think especially needing to build up that savings account after that
Yeah.
wedding, I
Yeah.
might hand pick a few clients that I want to work with
Hmm.
and do that
That's a good
on
idea.
my own. Like people that I used to train before I
Yeah.
was at Lifetime and stuff.
I love it.
But anyways, how about you? How you doing?
I'm good. I'll start with my thorn so that we can end positive.
Yes.
Um, my thorn is I have two. They're really nothing like I'll go with like the funnier one, I guess. My thorn is that we have awoken the Proud Boys.
Oh my god.
Oh
Literally.
my God. So last week, Chad and I did an episode on his career and kind of got into it and some of the problems that he's been facing with these like windmills or whatever. And we published it. And when I was posting some of our social media things, I wasn't even like thinking about like the audience that we would probably
The
gather.
fishing community.
Man, oh man, I gotta get tougher skin. Yeah. Um, we had like a ton of people, like thousands, tens of thousands of people watching our reel,
Yeah,
which
like
is
what? Was it really
hysterical.
that many? I want to look.
And then just like the comments, I mean, most of them were fine and harmless, but it's so funny
Right.
of like you put something out there that is like just what he's
Oh my
facing.
god.
So many people are like, "What? What are you saying? You're lying. Like get a degree," or like saying things like maybe you should ask a professional instead of just
And
taking
he's
like
like, I literally am a
he's
professional.
like this
That
is
was our highest viewed reel by thousands. Bring Chad
yeah,
on.
which is just so funny. And of course, so typical of Chad to like get the drama stirring.
Oh my God, I know. He texted me and he was like, hashtag content creator.
Oh my God, he is so funny. He is
Influencing the
funny though, because
streets.
he like loves stuff like that. I was like thinking of something else I can make for social, and I would love to eventually do it. I just don't have time right now. I asked him to take little clips of his day, and I wanted to make a reel about like what his lifestyle looks like
Yeah,
throughout the day, because honestly, I don't even know what the hell his life looks
right.
like during the day. And he's like all into it,
Oh
he's
my
taking
God.
videos all the time. And I'm
He's
like,
like, don't even have an Instagram, but
yeah.
look at me go.
Yeah. So that's my thorn, but it's more of a joke of like
Right.
it is what it is, and it's just funny the people that come out of the
The
cobwebs
woodwork.
over there.
I know. It's so
No,
real.
it was funny though. And then my thorn would be my book is published. So
What?
I'm
Your rose,
officially
you mean?
published. Oh yeah, my rose. So I'm officially a published author.
What? How are we not making a bigger deal out of this?
I know, because I honestly haven't had time to like I
Yeah.
have a whole marketing plan that I want to kind of like put out.
Yeah.
Not a marketing plan, but like
But
I
yeah.
want to introduce it to the world. And so I just need to get my ducks in a row and like get that out there. And I wanted to make sure like it's searchable, things like that.
Yeah.
So I ordered a ton of copies, and I'm going to be, trying to market that out to everyone. So I'm so excited.
It's book launch day?
It's book launch day.
Oh my
I'm
God, we need to set you up with a press tour.
oh,
And
yes, imagine.
oh my
Yeah, so it's
God.
just fun. It's just been a long, like I've been done with the book for um I don't 8 months or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a
And just
process.
illustrator and then the publishing situation. But anyways, yeah, now it's out there on Amazon. Get yours today.
We're gonna
Um,
put a link
yeah,
in our link in bio and in these show notes.
I love it. Yeah.
And we gotta hype it up. I need to buy a copy for Miss Eloise.
Yes, of course, of course. And it's super affordable. I think I'm doing like 9.99 on Amazon.
Oh my
So
God,
it's for
amazing.
everyone. It's
Can
just a
you
nice
read us a line? Do you have it to show us?
somewhere in my
Oh my
pile of
God. We're gonna
stuff.
do another episode that will be an official book launch day.
Ooh,
So we
ooh.
can really get into the nitty-gritty.
So it's
It's so
exciting.
exciting.
And I'm already on to like, all right, what am I gonna do next?
Oh, totally, because like why are we toxic like this?
Oh my God, I literally kill myself. I'm like, why do I do
Yeah.
this? But that's okay. I'd rather have it this way than the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my rose. Yay.
That's so happy.
Mhm.
So happy. So much exciting
think
stuff going on in our lives.
I think that you and Miss Rachel are the only people in the world that say this is so happy. It's like the cutest little thing in
I
the world. It's adorable. That is
think
so happy.
it is so happy. Sometimes it's just fitting, okay?
I love it.
Um,
Okay, let's jump into what we're going to talk about. Your wedding.
let's talk about it. Except, okay, I feel like not to really bring down the mood, but your thorn reminded me of it, and I feel like I would be remiss if we did not mention everything that's going on in the Middle East right now.
Mm,
I am an uneducated wench. Like I feel like I have been trying to read and learn a little bit, but it's such a layered, nuanced like conflict. I can't speak to it. Um, but I also feel like protecting your peace a little bit too is important because it's so tragic and unfathomable. So I feel like it's a very privileged place to be at, but trying to like also filter some of it out because it's so gut-wrenching.
mm,
Um, but I also feel like people are not okay in
yeah.
terms of like on social media. Like I felt really icky posting like wedding stuff while all that was going on, but like obviously I did anyways. And then yesterday posted just like like, resharing just a couple things on Instagram, which feels so insignificant anyways, but also felt weird not posting anything about it because it's like we have Jewish friends and loved ones and stuff, so it's like at least if they can feel like people are thinking about them, that's something. But like multiple people were like trolling me. I'm like,
No, of course.
yes. But I was very proud of myself. I didn't even open up the messages. I just deleted them
Good for you.
because I'm not, that is not the point of any of it. And like, if you're gonna take the energy to come for me and like just something very small and it's insignificant and nice, like you need to take that energy and go like donate some money or do some research or something. Like people are just seriously unwell and like losing sight of like what actually
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, I feel like you said that perfectly because I kind of went through the same thing of I wanted to understand it all before I like came out and said anything. And so I did a lot of like reading news articles. I was following some of my friends on Instagram, like who had been to Israel and have like a strong heritage
Yeah.
with that place in the world. And I was just trying to kind of like wrap my head around it. And a couple things flooded through. Like number one, I actually couldn't put my head around it. Like I was reading all
No.
these things about like babies, and I
Oh,
was talking, I even like brought up to chat. I was like, did you know this is happening? Because we were so off the grid for your wedding. And then we kind of like heard about it quickly. And I was trying to tell him some facts. And he was like, I told him about like the babies being like beheaded and burned alive in front of their parents. And Chad was like, I would never let that happen. That's crazy. Like that I can't, that's so ridiculous. And I was like, I know that you're saying that out of like trying to have a conversation here, but like this did happen. And like I think you just can't wrap your head around it. And he was like,
no.
he's like, you're totally right. I don't know why I said that. He's like, clearly these parents
It's just
couldn't do
coping,
anything.
like,
But it's
yeah.
like you literally can't process something like that happening. And I
No.
still can't. And I feel like I've done as much like research and like listened and watched as much as I can. And I still cannot fathom it enough to even like get emotional about it because I'm not letting my like wall even come down to
Yeah.
think that that could happen. So there's that kind of processing evolution of it all. And then going further than that, I went through the same thing of like, I want to post something because I want to like, I want people to know that I stand with them. But then I didn't want to become part of the conflict of
Right.
like only alienating this group of people and not this group of people or vice
Right.
versa. Um, and I didn't want to become part of like that conversation whatsoever. And yeah, it was just so hard. Like I ended up posting something and I luckily didn't have anyone say anything. Um, but it was like I was typing something up, deleting it. And I was like, I don't
Oh
want
my
it to
God,
sound like this. I don't
same.
want it to sound like I'm trying to just be positive. Like it's just all of these feelings. But I guess the point is that we're trying the best we can to like be with people that are going through this, and it's just wild. I just can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
And it's really scary.
It's so scary. I can't even imagine what it must feel like
Mhm.
to be Jewish and to see just, I mean, we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime, but there is so much anti-Semitism, like even in our country, and to see something so horrific like this happening to your own people just for being the people that they are, like that just must be so heartbreaking. But obviously, we both like denounce any acts of terrorism. Like it's insane and disgusting, and civilians, like nothing like that should ever happen to innocent. I mean, it shouldn't happen to anyone, but like innocent people. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. But definitely like I don't have a bunch of organizations that you can donate to or any resources, but looking at organizations like change.org and stuff like that, I feel like have a lot of good resources.
Yeah.
But
And I think just trying to stay away from that trolley part of the internet too
right.
is so powerful and
That's
not engaging
not
in
helping.
conversations of like I was seeing people compare like the Black Lives Matter to this movement, like not movement, but
Oh
the
yeah.
Black Lives Matter movement to this war right now. And it's just like it's just hard when people start to compare back and forth. And it's like, let's just be in the now and support the people that are struggling through this.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I just felt like it's such a huge thing that we had to at least mention it,
Yeah. All
because
right.
yeah.
So now let's move past this
Let's
conversation
go
and
back to being
back
toxically
on.
positive.
Let's go back to positivity. Um, where should we start? Do you have a game plan? I don't.
I don't really.
Okay.
Um I kind of figure we can do like wedding recap, and then I have like a list of um I don't know if it's like advice per se, but some,
Tips, tips
thoughts,
and tricks,
tips
101.
and tricks to wrap it all up for any
Okay.
new brides out there.
All right, let's hear it. What do
Brides
we
to
do?
be. Well, we were wed,
We
and
were,
it was the
it
best.
really was.
I would also love your perspective of everything as we go through it too, because I feel like I was in such just like a
Yeah.
tunnel vision, like bubble of bliss the whole weekend.
Yeah. I also think it's so funny because you and I are so close and like best friends
Yeah,
and probably live together and be like married.
yeah,
But when we get together, we're
same.
so funny. We like could be in totally different rooms and be like completely fine about it too. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's just so funny because we're so close and then we're together and we're like I don't think we got one picture. I
No,
don't think that we were just like whatever.
no, we got one picture specifically from the professional photographer
Oh, that's right.
when
Yep.
I made her take a picture of me and each of my friends. But that
Yep.
is definitely the only time. I was thinking the same exact thing because I mean, in a scenario like that, you're never going to be able to, like, you just can't be in that many places at once. Like, sitting at the rehearsal dinner, I was like looking around being like, "Oh, I just wish that I could like duplicate my body, like multiply my body so I could just sit at each table and
Mhm.
be with each person, but like science hasn't caught up to that yet.
No.
So, not quite.
But
But
yes, I will definitely add my 2 cents in because I was super present for the whole thing, enough so that I literally don't even know where the hell my phone was all weekend. I don't think I texted one person. I didn't take
yeah.
one picture. Like literally, thank God my child was okay.
You're like, she's fine.
Everyone's like
With the
FaceTiming with their
cramps.
kids, so sad they're gone. I'm like, I love you, Manny Banani. See you on
Right?
Sunday.
See you Monday,
Try
girlfriend.
to keep your phone on just in case anything happens, but I don't know. All right, let's start with Friday. Can we start with
Okay.
Friday? Does
Yeah.
that work?
Well, so we went up Thursday, which I highly
Me and Mark
recommend.
went on Thursday.
We went up with our parents
Okay.
and my little sister and Mark's brothers. And that was just such a nice time to kind of like ease into more and more people getting there. Like we got
Mhm.
to check out the welcome party venue and grab lunch. And Thursday was the most beautiful fall day in all of October,
Hmm.
which we soaked up and I have no feelings about anymore. It just was funny, honestly. We were like, of course it's like 65 and sunny, one cloud in the sky. That's it.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the forecast was like downpours. um and yeah, we just like made our welcome bags and ordered pizza and just hung out, and it was great to just kind of like be in the excitement and like be with our families. And then it was nice to be able to just wake up there on Friday
So talk about
and
where you were for people that
oh
don't know.
yeah. So we were up in Vermont, right near Okemo Mountain, in Ludlow. And it was at the Castle Hill Resort and Spa, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. I don't remember how the heck we found this place, but it was such a unicorn of a venue. Like we wanted somewhere that would be a fun fall getaway for everyone, and people would go for the weekend, and it wouldn't just be like an in and out and over kind of thing. Um, and it was exactly that. The actual venue I felt was like so unique and like such like a cute little property, and
Cozy and quaint. I love it.
yeah, just like a cozy fall weekend. And luckily, like the price was also so right because we were 2.5 hours away from Boston, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Friday, they also had like a spa on site. So a bunch of us got massages. So me and my little sister went and got a massage, sat in the sauna, and just like hung out with the fam. They had a heated pool outside. So like for a little bit, people were like swimming in the pool, put my toes in the hot tub. It was great. And then we spent a good chunk of the day collectively running around town, going to every store, every ski shop, golf pro shop, trying to find umbrellas because the forecast looked very rainy for Saturday. And the venue said they had some, but we were like, we didn't see what they had. So we were just like, we don't want to bank on you having a bunch when you have like three.
Yeah.
But this, like the whole weekend, it made the cockles of my heart so warm. Like my little sister was texting me on Thursday being like, "Okay, we're gonna like swing by this place," which was not swinging by. It was like 45 minutes out of her way to like go meet up with some girl from Facebook Marketplace to buy her like 60 umbrellas from her wedding. And like, I hadn't even thought of any of this. And Becca was like so on it, like calling people, calling Targets, like trying to
Wow.
find any umbrella. And that was like somewhat cute and aesthetic. She's like, "We will have this wedding outside." And I just had fully like, I cried about it on Wednesday night. And then I was like, that was my time to be sad. I have no feelings about it
I was
anymore.
gonna say, I can't even believe you were sad because you were like the like most easygoing person I've ever been involved with for a wedding. I went to
Like
Emma,
too
who's like
much,
my
probably.
best friend. I was literally her maid of honor, and I was like, I think Amanda's wedding is more chill than yours. Sorry. She was like, Yeah, you're right. And she's like the chillest person in the world. And I was like, this is the chillest thing I've ever done in my life.
It, honestly, I'm so glad to hear that because that was what I was going for.
Yep.
But I actually like it really ended up being that way the weekend up too, which was surprising. But my parents were at I think some, I don't know, ski shop or something, and we're asking the people and workers and like people in the shop overheard, and we're like, well, they don't sell umbrellas, but like we have umbrellas in our car. Like you can just borrow our
Oh
personal
my
umbrellas, like
God.
drop it off at the store on Sunday and we'll pick it up. Like there is still good in the world.
Yeah.
It warmed my freaking heart.
I love
Um,
that.
just the best. And then we got ready. I literally painted my nails. We'll talk about this after. I painted my nails 10 minutes before the rehearsal dinner and just like we're like, let's go. And we had the rehearsal dinner, which like was incredible. We kept it small on the smaller side, so it was like less than 35 people, just the wedding party and our officiant and my friend who did reading. And that was nice to just keep it like small and more
It
chances to
was so
actually
nice.
like,
I felt like I was like a rich, I don't know, a rich person back in the day, like in this
right in the castle.
dark, like castle room. We're also like cozy together with like the candlelit ambiance,
Yes.
everything. And I was like, I need a cigar and a glass of whiskey.
Yes.
You
So,
know,
boys,
it was
cigars in the library after this?
it was
Yes.
so luxurious. I loved it.
I loved the spot for the rehearsal dinner. So it was just like in one of the rooms in the like quote unquote castle. Really, it's like a 10 room inn that was like a governor's mansion house thing. It's not like an actual castle. But so much of it is like original to the house, which I thought was so cool. And just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it felt like you like went back in time. And then we went to our welcome party. We got a little shuttle to go down the road to this little like dive bar. That was so much fun. I did not know they were going to have
So
a
crazy.
DJ.
Yeah. It
And
was
like
pumping.
the locals were out to
Yes.
play.
They were so out to play. I
Like
loved them. They were like there for a good time.
it was hilarious. And like you could tell like that was the Friday night spot in town.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Like
was so busy. I was like, holy moly.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Galen got dragged onto the floor by multiple Ludlow women. Like she must have been giving off some serious vibes. And she's so funny. She changed into like a super cozy outfit before we went. So she's in like leggings and a giant sweatshirt. And
Oh,
the women were hitting
blended
on
right in.
her left and right.
I love that so much. I did not know that.
It was so funny. She just kept getting like people would walk up to her and just grab her hand and pull her onto the dance floor. And she's like, what is happening?
That is a woman too. I love that so
Yeah,
much.
no, I don't think a single man hit on her. It was just all the ladies of Ludlow out to play and feeling spicy.
She's got that BDE, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for real. And it was the best. It was so much fun. I'm glad we did that. So we got to like see people before the wedding day. Cause obviously that's like chaos and just it goes by so fast.
Mhm.
So that was great. And
Yeah.
my frickin' aunt uncle from Oklahoma missed their flight on Friday morning or
Yeah.
it must have been Thursday morning. I don't know. So they drove 22 hours
Wow.
from Oklahoma.
That is insane.
And when my dad told me that, the tears that fell from my eyeballs, I was like,
God.
are you kidding? It
That is incredible.
And people that I not like that I wouldn't expect it from them, but I don't see them often. We don't really keep in touch. Like
Yeah.
I saw them at my cousin's wedding and before that probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was and they were just like we wouldn't have missed it for the world. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's so special.
I'm like that's so nice. So I feel like there were a lot of reminders of that of like family that really shows up for you and oh, on Friday, I ended up giving my like parent gifts out and me and my therapist have been working for a while just on like childhood stuff as we do and my relationship with my dad and I really wanted to go into the wedding weekend feeling like him and I were close and at least like more honest with each other and kind of like lay everything out on the table um because we've definitely been through a lot but he is in the best place personally than I've ever seen in
Oh,
him and I'm really unfair to him a lot in terms of like assuming that he'll react a certain way or assuming that he'll say a certain thing and I'll literally make up conflict in my head of like okay we're gonna go there this weekend and he's gonna say this and like I go through a whole conversation or a whole argument in my head and that's so unfair to him
mhm.
because I'm building conflict with absolutely nothing to do with him at all
Yeah.
um and so I really want to like be better about that and so I wrote him this like long letter about basically about all of that and how like proud I am of him for all of like the life changes that he's made and like we've literally never once talked about any of it. And I felt like that was really unfair. And he always tells like my mom, like, well, I don't want them to see me like, vulnerable or going through anything or, making hard decisions because he wants to come off as like, I'm the strong dad figure. But like part of that is being vulnerable and like being open. Um, and so we both had a nice little cry and I read him my letter and I
You
feel
read
like,
it to him?
yeah,
Oh my God, you're the
and
cutest.
it was, like, so healing and wonderful, and I feel like I can kind of, obviously, all of the stuff that we've been through doesn't just go away, but I feel like I can kind of, like, put it in a box and have that be more, like, behind us rather than, like, holding any grudges or any negative feelings that just, like, don't really serve me or, like, serve our relationship anymore. So I felt like it was like a good start to the weekend of like, now we can just be present with each other all weekend.
That
And
is magical. I feel like your dad was like the sweetest soul the whole weekend because I never actually talked to him. So
yeah.
I heard a lot from him and talked with him for different conversations and stuff. And
Oh,
he's
good.
just like so present and like Chad literally couldn't watch your daughter father dance, like crying.
Stop.
And I just feel like, I don't know, it's like being a father is so challenging. And I feel
Yeah.
like he just really like rose to the occasion for the wedding and like didn't make it about him, didn't make it
Yeah.
like a big deal, but like just having a good time, like the whole time. Before you
Yeah.
walk the aisle, you guys are standing there like dancing and like just he was just so in the moment. It was like so nice and he was like so goofy sometimes and just like
So goofy.
I mean, your whole family. I like when people ask me how the wedding was, I was like, I understand why Amanda is the way she is. Like
No.
your whole family is so like soulfully beautiful. I
I'm gonna
mean,
cry.
I honestly like I was looking at your mom getting emotional because like now I'm a mom and
Yeah.
when your daughter gets married it's like the moms don't get any recognition. The dads get like a
Yeah.
dance and they make a speech and everything and you just know that she has been there for you forever and this going on to your mom now but like
Yeah.
she just stood there so happy for you and not wanting any little like ounce of recognition. And that's like the true definition of a mom of like, she has done everything in her power to make you guys have the best life possible. And now it's kind of like this turning point, and she's just sitting there like glowing because you're
Oh,
happy. It's like I just kept looking at her being like, you are such a good parent. And the same
she
thing for your dad.
is.
Like he's living in the moment and he's like having a good time, but like your whole family was just so happy and just like smiling the whole time. Everyone kept being like, I can't believe that that's Amanda's mom. She's so beautiful. Like she's just sitting there glowing and smiling the whole time. Like, what the hell, you know? And I'm like, but it makes so much sense of why you are the way you are. And it's just like, you have such a beautiful family. And I feel like it was so nice to be around the radiating love and
Thank
positivity. Like,
you.
no one was angry at anything, no one was angry at anyone. It was like,
No.
feel like there's usually something at a wedding that happens and there's like drama llama. There was not one bit. It was incredible.
It was that made me very emotional. But
I was like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just gonna keep talking.
no, it was so nice. Yeah, it just felt like that all weekend. Like I feel like my dad seriously stepped up and like the week before the wedding, he went to Texas on a work trip for like one night and then was in Boston for 3 days for like a work conference. Drove, he's like 2.5 hours from Boston, drove 45 minutes north because he came here at 4 in the afternoon, the worst time to come here. So sat through tunnel traffic, drove 45 minutes to my house so he could load up his truck with a bunch of stuff because we didn't have enough room in our car for the wedding. And like then drove all the way back to Connecticut, which was so nice. And like the day before, him and my mom are, in the tent helping us set some stuff up. He's like, okay, what can I do? He picked us all up breakfast in the morning and like
Yeah.
just
There was no
was like,
like passive aggressive, like, yeah, I'm doing this, but like, this kind of sucks. Like,
no.
everyone was like genuinely happy to be like helping and doing and just being there. It was like the
Yeah.
most present moment ever.
It was just so nice. And I feel like that really summed up the whole vibe of the weekend. Um, yeah, and Saturday was just the best. Like I feel like the day was so chill and we just had like some nice girly time in the room. You guys wrote me all these like really nice letters, which made me cry. And I loved your letter specifically because I feel like you really put it into perspective where like you can look around and always think of things you still want to do, things that you want to change about yourself or your house or your job or whatever. And in your letter, you were like, how cool is it that like we used to talk about all this stuff and now we're like living our dream? And it's
Mhm.
so true. It's like we're so lucky for I can't. We're so lucky for like so much of what we have, you know?
I know it is wild, and I do that all the time of like you're so like go 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 on to the next thing, and it's like holy crap, look around your life and think about where you were 10
Yes.
years ago and where you are today, and it's like
Yeah.
everything we said we wanted we have,
Mhm.
and it's like so incredibly powerful to be in these situations. But I loved that, and I wanted to go through like details of the day. So like we started off, yeah, getting ready in your little suite, and it was the cutest little room because there was like a living room and then a bathroom and your like master bedroom where the makeup and
My Felicity
there
American Girl
were.
doll room. Those are the vibes.
But it was so nice because we just had a ton of snacks and we got food and we were like cuddling and like up on the couch just being like girls, and it
Yeah.
was just so easy breezy. And I remember when I was getting the makeup done, they were a little bit behind and they were like, yeah, like asked me, do we just have Amanda and this person left? And I was like, yeah, but honestly, like, do not stress about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Amanda does not care. Like, the
Truly could
wedding's
not
going
care
to
less.
happen, and if we're a half hour late, like, no one's gonna notice.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy because, like, I feel like the least, is that the word? The least amount of anxiety you put into like timelines and checking off boxes and making sure all of these little details are done, the more power it gives to the anxiety and like the stress of the day. And then
Mhm.
you're never like happy with how it comes out. Like it should have been this or like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that was just out the window. And it was like, we were literally just hanging out. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to go to my room and change into something. And yeah, I didn't have to like get approval from, so like it
Yeah.
was just you were just so comfortable. It was so easy going. I love it.
And I feel like I did focus a lot leading up to the day on making the timelines and making sure we had everything, like tried to control what I could control so that way the day would just be like set up to flow.
Yeah.
And I knew that like, yeah, okay, if we're running 15 minutes behind, 30 minutes behind, like the worst thing that happens is okay, then like we don't sit around for
Yeah.
45 full minutes before the ceremony starts. Like there will be time. It will be okay. We can start 15 minutes late. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
No one cares.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll
We
all
started by just getting ourselves ready. We gave Amanda a little book, so all the bridesmaids wrote her a letter, and a lot of them put in pictures that I didn't have time to do. Sorry.
it is all right. We only have like 3 pictures together anyways.
It's
So
true. We don't do that. That's not in our friendship. But I feel like that was so like personable. And I just feel like every little thing that you did, whether it was like your note with your dad or these notes, it was like something that you actually wanted. It wasn't just like going out and buying a ton of gifts for like
yeah,
bridesmaids, how that was kind of like a trendy thing that I feel like is
totally.
is dissipating now, thank God. But yeah, so we just kind of got ready and it was nice and easy. What else happened during the day? I'm like blacking out.
Not a lot. I gave you all your little
Yeah.
sweatshirts, which I'm gonna have to do another order of because at like the after party and like breakfast and stuff, Mark's like brothers were like, "What the heck are those sweatshirts? Like, I want one." And like, I need to buy one for myself. So we're
That's so
gonna have
funny.
to place another order.
I love it.
Um,
We'll put it
and
in our storefront. Don't worry, guys. Amazon
yes,
storefront.
perfect.
We still, oh
Wedding
my God, we
merch.
still have to get our freaking merch out. We're so
Oh,
bad.
I
We're
know.
doing that.
It's
We're doing
now,
it.
yeah, now that the wedding's over, we can I can focus more brain power on other things.
Right.
Um, and I tried to do like a really I tried to like really think about each friendship and like write a heartfelt card about, yeah, like just making it more meaningful and like reflecting on like how each one of you has kind of like been there for me through this whole journey and all of that, which I just, wanted to make things as personal as possible. Um, but yeah, and then it was kind of one of those things like 1 o'clock hit and it was like the day is going. Like we
As
made
it
it.
does.
Yeah, it just is like slow, so slow. Oh my God, fast.
Yep.
Um, but even when it got to that point, it didn't feel chaotic or crazy. Um, like I I feel like we didn't even like really worry about like getting all the posed bridesmaids pictures in the suite. Like it's like
Yeah.
just take pictures of us like interacting and like doing stuff together. And that was kind of nice.
Mhm.
And then we did our first look out in the weather ended up clearing up for our first look and pictures, which I was so happy because like the grounds are just so beautiful and like adorable that I was feeling a little bit sad that we wouldn't get any pictures outside. Which is like it doesn't matter and it's such a small stupid thing, but I just was like, I want that at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
And the weather was great, so we got to like take all of our pictures outside and the first look was so nice. We were supposed to do our private vows during the first look and then ended up Mark decided the day before that he actually wanted to read the vows during the ceremony,
My God.
which was such a shocking decision that I could not say anything other than like, yes, absolutely. So our first look was definitely kind of awkward, but like emotional. Like as I was like rounding the corner, I like started getting really teary-eyed and like nervous, which I was like, why am I nervous? I literally like saw him a few hours ago. Um and after like the initial like emotional and cuteness, we both were like, so now what do we do? Just
Yeah.
like stand here and look at each other and they're gonna take some pictures.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then we did all of our pictures and we went inside and as we were doing the pictures, I at that point had like fully succumbed to like we were doing an indoor ceremony. It is what it is. Who the hell cares? Um I was a little bit annoyed because the venue coordinator we had a meeting on Thursday and she was so easy breezy about we will make the decision whether indoor or outdoor at the very last chance if that is what you want, like talking about how the weekend before they made the decision 5 minutes before and all this stuff. She's like, we'll do whatever you want to do. It's like, great, we'll just figure it out as we go. And then Saturday morning, I just kind of like hear through the grapevine that like, oh, well, she decided that we're doing it indoors. And I was like, that's fine because like the weather is saying that's what's going to happen, but like you didn't even ask
Yeah.
no one talked to me, no one told me. But again, did not matter. I didn't really care. And then we're all outside and everyone's like kind of whispering. I'm like, what is going on, guys? And they're all like, we're all looking at our weather app and it says it's not going to rain until after 6. Like, should we try to do it outside? And I was like, yes, absolutely. We are trying to do it.
Yeah.
And even then, too, the coordinator was kind of like, I don't know. She was kind of just being like a grumpy gills about it, which I understand.
Yeah.
It's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of chaos. She's like, well, we're not gonna be able to get enough seats out in time. I'm like, well, it doesn't start for 2 full like hours, so we absolutely can. And I was like, look around. There's like 10 men standing around right here. We have all these 10 girls. All of their partners, husbands, boyfriends are in this building, and they are all more than willing to help.
Yeah.
Like, we can get enough chairs out in time. She's like, no, we're not having that. And I'm like, well, you're saying you can't do it, and I'm giving you a solution. So, like, what gives,
Make it
bitch?
work. Yeah. Yeah.
And whatever. At that point, I walked inside and never thought about it again.
Yeah.
And they did not put out enough chairs for everyone, but it did not matter because everyone came in and sat down at the ceremony, and people said that like everyone was sitting there like chattering with each other, being like, I can't believe this worked out. The weather's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone said you could like hear it in the trees, like the cloud just rolling in, like before you could even feel anything. Like she said it was like the most ominous thing ever. And then the sky opened up and everyone got poured on. And
Wait, who told you that? That is awful. No one should tell you that. Whoever
I
told you
know, right?
that,
Honestly, like it
not
was
cool.
funny. It was totally fine. And people said that everyone just kind of ran under the tent because the outdoor
Yeah, it was great.
ceremony space was right next to the tent, so it kind of worked out. And that the DJ started playing "Ironic" by Alanis Morissette. The "It's like
I
rain on
love
your
that.
wedding day," which I was like, oh, good, he brought some humor into it.
Yep.
Um, and honestly, like I was happy that everyone got to see what it was supposed to be. They kind of
Yep.
like got to experience it for a second, and then everyone got ushered inside. And the indoor ceremony ended up just feeling like a big hug from everyone
That is the
that was
greatest
there.
analogy I've ever heard. It was so freaking cozy and just like so comfortable. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was so nice. I walked down and like I've been in so many weddings and I was like, I feel like I'm just walking into my dining room with my best friends, gonna have a nice dinner.
Yeah.
It
Like,
was so cute.
first of all, the aisle being so much shorter because basically all we
Yes.
had to do was walk down the stairs that no one could really see us from because they were kind of behind, like in the hallway. Walk down a set of stairs and just walk across the foyer into like the front part of the lobby of the castle. So it was like a super short aisle, which I felt hashtag blessed about, as I'm
Mhm.
sure all of you did as well, because the garden one would have been long.
Yep. Yeah. And my
Um,
skills that I've had since like 2012.
for sure.
Like, I need to throw away. I don't know what the hell I'm
For
doing.
sure, same. Um, so that was lovely, and it was funny because when we were first talking about the indoor ceremony, I was like, "It'll be fine, it's cute and whatever," but I felt weird about, like, basically everyone having to stand and all of that, but once we were in it and doing it, like, I had no feelings about it. It was, like, so cozy and nice. We, right before the ceremony, we were all upstairs, like, dancing in the bridal suite and, like, shaking out all the nerves, which are, like, some of my favorite pictures from the
Mhm.
day. Um,
There was like no waiting though. Like I love that about it. You know, it
yeah,
was like, all right, let's go. You ready?
let's let's do it, and I'm so glad we did our vows at the ceremony. I feel like
So
it
cute.
it was so
Mark was so
nice.
cute, like pacing. He was like, So nervous. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
I was like,
God.
you're the cutest little man ever.
He
I
was
love.
shifting back and forth, like swaying back and forth so much.
I also, this is like speaks to how good of a person Mark is. I was eavesdropping on a conversation with his mom and whoever she was talking to.
Mhm.
And his mom was saying that she had walked into like the suite where Mark was before the ceremony happened. And he looked like nervous. And his mom was like, you know, you're already married. Like, there's nothing to be worried about. And he was like, I'm not worried about like getting married to Amanda. Like, that's not what I'm nervous about. Like, I just feel so terrible. I just had my friends and family in the rain. And his mom was
Oh,
like, Mark,
yeah, like no one
everyone is
cares.
laughing. Everyone is like honestly like having such a good time. But I'm just like, Mark is such a good person. Like
I
if that
know.
happened to me, I wouldn't give two shits about the people.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, now I have to do this or I have to do that. And he's just such a good person of
He
like,
is the
that's the thing he's
best.
thinking about is like his friends and
Everyone else.
family and their experience right now. I'm like, you're so cute.
That is him. It is
Like,
crazy. I
yeah.
know. I feel like it really, all of that put such a focus on what we were really there for, which I feel really like lucky for.
Yeah.
Um, and like reading the vows in front of everyone with everyone literally being so close to you
Mhm.
was so special and like I think meant a lot more than I thought it would. Um and like hearing his vows, I was like, I can't handle this. Like you need to stop immediately. It was great. And then we went right into cocktail hour, which was right in that space. We were already there and could just get it going.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great.
I really was.
And then I don't know, we did our entrance in our first dance, which was so fun. I feel like we were both so nervous about it because we like learned to dance from one of my coworkers is a ballroom dancer, so she taught us some moves and we pared
It
it
was
down a
beautiful.
lot. Thanks so much. We were
In
both
your
so nervous.
song, I like started Taylor Swift and I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. And there was like a friggin' like remix to it. That was
Shawn
like the
Mendes.
cutest version of it. I've never heard it. I was like, oh my
Oh,
God. I was literally in the song you and your dad danced to, and he was singing it. I'm like, oh my God, stop it.
oh my God. When we picked the my dad's song, I went down to Connecticut and it was me, him, and my mom, and we would just like play father-daughter song, listen to it a little bit and like decide if it, would make the cut. And we listened to so many songs and the three of us were just standing around bawling our eyes out, like could not handle all the emotion. And the one that we ended up choosing, um it was The Man Who Loves You Most, The Man Who Loves You First, something like that. The
But I've
Man
never,
Who Loves You Most by Zach Bradband.
okay.
And in the beginning, it talks about, or he's talking about packing his bag and how he's going to be gone for a while. And like your mom is going to be the one tucking him into bed at night for a little bit, but like we can look up at the moon and both be looking at the same, like all that stuff. And my mom was so unwell. I mean, I was also crying and so was my dad, but like, she's like, it's just like when he would go out to sea. I'm like, well, now I'm not okay, mom.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
such a
it's
beautiful song.
amazing. It was so great. And then the dance party was just on and poppin'.
Music was amazing. I loved it.
He did such a good job. The speeches, I was crying. They were so good.
So good.
It was just everything. I ended up changing into a reception dress, even though I never thought I was going to, and I did not bring that dress for that reason.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just gonna go change. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know you're doing an outfit change. Like, yeah, I wasn't planning on it, but whatever.
I was
Okay,
so
girl.
hot. I was so
That's
hot in that
crazy.
dress. And
Oh, the dress. Oh my God, your dress was to die for. To
thank you.
die for. Oh
I
my
was so
God.
obsessed with it. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna want to like not have every single second in this dress that I can.
Yeah.
But you don't think about the fact that like you get in your dress at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And the train was really long. So once it was bustled up, it just felt like it was like pulling it down where like my butt is. And I just like it was just so heavy. Felt like it was like weighing me back. And
Where'd you end
I
up getting your dress?
Alexandra's in Fall River.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, and I was just like so freaking hot. Mark stepped on the bustle and a bunch of the buttons broke. So I was
As
like,
they do. Everyone's bustle breaks. Just put it out there.
yeah,
Everyone's bustle breaks. Don't think yours isn't going to. It
I
will.
did not know that about it.
Yeah.
So I literally looked at Becca and I was like, listen, I have that other dress that I brought just in case for the rehearsal dinner. Should I go change into that? And me and her just like skedaddled, like ran through the rain into the
Yep.
castle and like we're so giggly and we're just like, all right, we're gonna go change. And then
Yep.
was able to just be young, wild, and free the rest of the night.
I love it. It
It
was
was so great.
incredible. Incredible. I made it until like 10:30, which is saying a
Which
lot
was
with my,
basically the end. It ended at
yeah.
11.
I know that's why I was like, because I kept being like, I'm really tired. I like real my body's like ready to go to sleep
Yeah, it was a
being
long
pregnant.
day.
And then I was like, but I'm gonna miss something. I'm gonna miss something. And Chad's like, Caitlin, you're gone. Like
Yeah.
you've seen it. You're good. I was like, okay.
You've seen all you
We
needed to
gotta have
see.
two. I had two pieces of cake. Oh my God, your aunt made the cake. It was like literally better than any professional cake I've ever seen. And it tasted, I had two slices.
It was so good. I'm mad that we didn't save more of it. We
Oh,
only
so
saved like one slice for our like
oh,
first anniversary. But I'm
so
like, we should have saved every last bit that they had left over.
so good.
It was so good. And that was so special. Like I feel like
Yeah.
in my little list of things, like finding ways to make it personal and like bring your people into it felt really like it just made the whole weekend feel special. Like having my aunt make the cake, which I feel so lucky that she is so talented and could like offered to do that. Um, even like I feel like people are so turned off to like having readings or anything like that. And like you don't have to have a super long ceremony, but to be able to include someone else that you love to like do a reading that means something to you, I liked. And um we ended up taking my mom's dress apart and I took pearls off of her dress and we glued them onto hairpins so I could like have a little like faux pearl headband.
So
Um which was so cool to like bring some of her stuff into it. And I put one of the bows because her dress was very 80s, lots of lace, lots of bows, lots of material. So I put one of her bows on my bouquet and trying to think of what other personal things we did. Even like the parent gifts and having them do speeches at rehearsal dinner and
mhm.
um
You got custom shoes.
oh yeah, our custom Nikes, which
Hmm.
was fun.
Such a must.
And the fat heads of Poe,
Yeah,
which
those
was
were,
less of a sentimental thing and more of like a hilarious thing.
yeah,
Um, but any of that stuff I feel like is just like brings it back to like what it's all about, like
yeah,
you and your love and your family and all of that. Um, I feel like a huge thing is like don't let yourself get caught up in the noise of wedding TikToks and wedding like Instagram and all of that because it will make you feel like you need to do way too much,
yeah,
lose a bunch of weight, create a whole new fitness routine, a whole new beauty routine, like this, that, and the other thing. And like I treated myself to a facial and a massage the week of. So glad I did that. But like people gave me shit for cutting my hair. People like it is people are just unhinged.
yeah.
Like do you, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like I said, I literally painted my nails 10 minutes before the rehearsal dinner because the second I got onto property, like it's funny, like I feel like I bought like teeth whitening stuff and like multiple different like nail kits because I knew I wanted to do my own nails. Like I don't really like getting my nails done anyways. Like
Hmm.
I felt like I needed to do all this stuff and then I kept like getting mad at myself when like I kept forgetting to whiten my teeth and then I forgot to make a spray tan appointment and all this stuff. And like the second we drove to the castle on Thursday, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Sorry, Aunt
yeah,
Debbie. If my
I know.
teeth are one shade whiter.
Yeah, I know. It's those little things that I feel like even just like in daily life, I'm like
Yeah.
home, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm looking around right now. My cabinets are open. The baby's high chair thing is on the floor. Like everything is everywhere. And I'm like, I need to clean everything. And then I leave my house, go for a walk, and I'm like, da 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 da.
Right.
It's the
Doesn't
same
really
feeling of
matter.
like nothing matters like that. No.
Yeah. Like try to just remember what you're actually there for.
Yeah.
Um, because it's easy to let everything else kind of just cloud it all.
Mhm.
Um, and then the same thing with like allowing you to set the mood and set the tone. And I feel like going into the weekend, I like made a decision. Like my mood is up here and nothing can touch it. Like no one can say anything, nothing can go wrong that will reach my mood that is up here. Like I am having the best weekend of my life and like you kind of just make a decision. Like the rain couldn't touch it. I cried about it before we left for Vermont and I had my one time to be sad about it and then I just let it go.
Yep.
Like my coordinator kind of being a bitch. I didn't care. Like
Yep.
people last minute deciding that they weren't coming to the wedding and like some of our family members were kind of like pissed about it and like you know wouldn't really let it go. And I was like, I don't care. I'm up here.
Let's fester in that drama, you know, and
Right.
it is so easy because sometimes I do it too. I'm not like trying to
Oh
put
my
judgment.
God. I'm not saying I'm
Like,
above it all the time.
yeah, but it is so true, of especially in weddings, of like you want to find something to like talk about, you know, and
Yeah.
so then you like gravitate towards like the drama side, and it's like, what if we did the opposite? What if we went to the positive side and lived in that feeling? How would we feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly, the reward is incredible, like from what you're saying.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I was like perfect at it. Like, definitely had a couple moments where I called my coordinator some choice words behind her back, but then we let it go and we danced it out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like if I can impart any wisdom onto brides to be, it's like just remember what it's about and try your damnedest to be present and just like soak up the people that are there to be with you.
I love it.
That's
Excellent. Well, you can get
that's all she
married
wrote.
whenever you want, and I will be there.
I would like to do it again. That was the best.
It was so amazing. So amazing.
Eee.
Ah,
And
all
now
right.
we're back to real life.
Yep. We're just gonna keep living in it though, okay? It's not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
But now get get ready. You bitches are not ready for the fire that's about to come out of this podcast because now I have a brain again
Oh my
and
God.
I
She's
have
here.
I have time on my hands. So,
Just in time for me to start to trickle out.
yeah, it's over for you bitches.
Just no, no, now that I'm about to have a baby, you're like, I'm ready. I'm like,
You're
okay,
like,
bye.
and I'm not. Yeah, when's your due date again?
March 6th.
Oh my God. We got time though.
Oh my God, yeah, of course. I know.
It's all gonna be great.
All right. Well, that was amazing. I hope you got something from it, and we'll check in with you guys next week.
We love you dearly.
Love you so much.
Peace and
Cheers.
blessings. Beep, beep.